Hi, it's me from the future. I have an admission to make. I kind of cocked this video up pretty bad. So, in the middle of it, you're probably going to see cutaways of me talking about things from the future because I suck at this still. I'm still not good at it, and it's going to take a little time. I am learning. Please forgive me. And I will get better. I promise. And without further ado, please enjoy this butchered video. I got some toys in the mail. Look at them all. They're fantastic. But I can only do one at a time, so goodbye, cheapy $5 AliExpress game. Goodbye, $7 AliExpress game. No, we'll save the Miyoo. And I feel like this is going to be a massive disappointment, so we'll save that for later. I'll leave these two guys. I choose you. So essentially what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing a short unboxing on each of these, and then I'm going to daily drive each of them for an entire week. And then I'll come back to you after that week with my thoughts and my feelings and what I had to do to make these things run effectively, if possible. I don't think that those cheapy $5 and $7 6,000 games in one emulators are going to be worth a damn. So the other ones, however, I might be able to get something out of. We're going to start with this Miyoo A30. So the Miyoo A30 was designed pretty much to emulate the appearance of the Game Boy Micro, which is in and of itself a fantastic, extremely pocketable device. It's probably one of my most favorite handhelds. When the Micro came out, I fell in love. I actually waited in line for like 2.5 hours, skipped out of work just so I could get it. And it's been amazing. I've had this thing for years and it's still, I just pulled this out of my closet and it still has a charge on it. Plays games just fine. Love it. Now, Miyoo has a long track record of putting out great handhelds. Like my original Miyoo Mini here, this I've taken with me on trips, I've taken it to work. It's pretty fantastic. It does exactly what it says it can do, and there are custom firmwares for it, which is great. They have established a foothold in the market with the Miyoo Mini. The entire layout of the device, its form factor is great, it's pocketable, it's everything that you could possibly hope for. And I'm hoping that this little guy does the same. Let's go ahead and get into it and see what they send us. For starters, we have this actually really great case. It's a hard shell. And the zipper I found is very pleasant to open. It doesn't catch, doesn't hang. It's not cheap quality in any way. So for starters, you're going to get manual. You get a USB-A to USB-C charging cable, a USB-C to 3.5 millimeter jack. That's what that looks like. You get a case, and you get the device itself. And I did go with the kind of tuxedo black and white looking colorway, and I think that that looks really slick. Trigger buttons don't feel too bad. You have your ABXY, good click to them, perfect travel. Your D-pad, about the same, it's rubber membrane, and your analog stick does not set up too high. I like that. Got a good click to it. Yeah, it doesn't stick out too far, so it's not going to catch when you're sticking it in your pocket. You have a USB-C on top, what looks like a home button, 2 volume buttons. You've got a spot for your micro SD card and a power button. That's pretty much all you get. In fact, it's a $28 device. At least right now, those prices may go up depending on what the tariff situation looks like here in the near future, but I got mine for 28 bucks on AliExpress from their official store, and it arrived in about 10 days. I was actually pretty impressed with how quickly it got here. There we go, a nice obligatory fake screen protector peel. Looks good. Hey there, it's me from the future again. Time for some specs because I totally messed that up last time. So the Miyoo A30 actually has a new processor that hadn't been used in any handhelds before, and that is an all-winner A33 quad-core. Runs at about 1.2 gigahertz. The screen is an IPS display. It's a 2.8 inch, same as the Miyoo Mini. And I had originally thought that they were just using the same screen, just turned it horizontal, because it has the same 640 by 480 resolution. But I've since found out that Miyoo's having trouble sourcing those screens, which is why they made the Mini Plus, and I'll talk about that in my review on that device in the future. So I think this is just a completely different display. Doesn't change the fact that it's amazing. It's fantastic. The RAM has been significantly upgraded since the Miyoo Mini. This has 512 mega RAM and 64 gigs of storage if you get the 64 gig storage version. It will accept up to 128 gig micro SD card, and it comes with a fairly robust for its size 2600 milliamp hour battery. It claims for 5 hours of playtime, but in testing, I did not see that once. So it does come with RetroArch built in, but you're best suited to just go ahead and immediately install Spruce 3 when you get it. Take my advice. It's just better. Okay, back to the video. Hey, look at that, signs of life. So yes, this is the home button on top, power buttons on the side. You're greeted with a pretty decent kind of background song. It's not as annoying as some of the handhelds where it's just piercing 8-bit bad music. It's very responsive. Let's see if it's got any games on it. Nada. Okay. Let me see if I can't get some games on this thing. All right, here we are. We are loaded up into Spruce 3, which I think is probably going to be in this thing's favor. So let's go check into the games. It did recognize the ROMs that I put on here. Everybody always says, will it run Doom? Well, mine is, will it run Emerald? And yes, it will. And that screen is indeed gorgeous. It is amazing. Not bad. Okay. Get your pause, takes you straight to your menu. Spruce is great. It's got a ton of features in it. I'll probably do a video on Spruce at some point once I've learned everything there is to learn about it. Little Big Planet, not bad. Solid 30 frames a second. Audio's not choppy. So yeah, Little Big Planet, completely playable. Let's try something else. Hello, it's been a minute, and I have almost torn all my hair out, but we now have 64 working fantastic. Still a little bit of chop, but it is what it is. Much better than it was. It's gone from utter trash to actually playable. So, that being said, I'm going to get to work on this. I'll run it for about a week, and then I'll get back to you with my thoughts. As far as GBA is concerned, it plays it flawlessly. Games like Pokemon Emerald and Golden Sun, I had absolutely no problems with. Similarly, with Nintendo 64 titles, I did not have any issues. Games like Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time and Mario Kart 64 ran without any problems whatsoever. For the PS1, I tested Dino Crisis, which ran perfectly fine, along with Gran Turismo 2, which can be a demanding game, and the A30 took it like a champ. I had no issues. The PSP is where things get really weird. Star Wars Battlefront 2 ran like hot garbage, and so did, for some reason, The Legend of the Fat Princess Fistful of Cake. That game should have ran without issues, but it couldn't handle it. While I was able to successfully play pleasantly Exy's Force and Little Big Planet. So PSP emulation is kind of hit and miss. So where does this leave us with the Miyoo A30? Well, let's start with the pros. Let's start with the things that I actually enjoy about it. The screen is amazing. The joystick is equally as amazing. It's not too loose, it's not too stiff, there's no drift whatsoever. The form factor is to die for. It fits in a pocket, you don't even know it's there. It's simply amazing. You'd think it'd be everything you want in a handheld, except Miyoo always has some quirks. For starters, it will not charge with a fast charging brick. You have to charge it using USB-A to USB-C, and you have to use an older brick. It does not support power delivery, from what I can tell. My testing shows that it charges at about 4.5 to 6 watts. Period. Does that work for you? I don't know. The battery lasts about 2.5 to 4 hours, depending on what you're playing. So, if for a pick up and go and then put it away on breaks and lunches and on the bus or the train, yeah, it would work great. The second thing is, well, it gets rather hot. And this is a common complaint out on the web. You'll read about it when you're doing your research. It really does heat up. Half an hour of playing PSP on my breaks, I can barely hold it. It feels scorching. Speaking of PSP, that's another thing. The emulation is kind of hit and miss. As you'll see from the gameplay footage, PSP especially is kind of strange as far as emulation is concerned. Some games work flawless, some games will not run. This is honestly would be a great handheld for JRPGs. If you want something to pick up and play on a break, do a little gaming, this would be the perfect console for you. If you're looking for something to play fast-paced shooters or games that barely ran on their original home consoles like God of War Chains of Olympus, this is probably not the device for you. You're going to want something with a better processor. Although the processor on this thing is much better than some of the other devices out there, it doesn't have active cooling, it gets a little too hot, and I think it thermal throttles, and I think that's a real problem. Would I buy this again? Absolutely. It's amazing for playing GBA, it plays N64, it plays PS1 perfectly. It plays most PSP titles almost flawlessly, and others it just tanks on. So, in conclusion, I would say it's worth it. I would say get one if you can, if they're not being scalped at ridiculous prices because of tariffs. And if you decide you don't like it, well, it's still a good conversation piece, and you can still use it to play Game Boy games whenever you want. And that's kind of what they were going for when they designed this, was to make it look like a Game Boy Micro, and it plays GBA games just fine. So I would say that they checked the box right there. Anyway, let me know what you think down in the comments. Thank you for watching, and you guys take care.